may kipin duwa nga nagkuha kami tayo ididamo. Na isin pa, di kasi na ikuha, nagputok da nila kay kyo, nagbuting kaya sa balimitin, silipito na kanila kay kyo ta, nakaslangay nga nakatok, si buting na. Hindi kuhan, inla kumina, basti-basti tatarun ni, samit anungin, asa sumubli na, ano ka na, normala panunot na asa. Sa tigayam na dikituan na mapusor na ano pa. Kadaan na kusor. So ano, ayan na, itaman na sitap no, sunpa kami na ano ka nang kay, kaya balawar miyan na.
Barangay Saklit in the Cordillera Administrative Region is socially excluded. Often linked to social and educational status and how these adversely affect living standards and access to opportunities and social services, social exclusion is not just a simple economic trend. It harms a person's very individuality, damages his self-worth, and deprives him of his value in the community. A person living in a socially excluded community is not involved in the major processes and benefits of the community in which he lives. He may want to participate, but is prevented from doing so by factors beyond his control. JSDF-SIP, or the Japan Social Development Fund Social Inclusion Project, addresses the issue of social exclusion in the Philippines. It believes that poverty is not only a result of economic deprivation, but of the lack of coordinated response and affirmative action to a deeper and more complex system of problems. JSDF-SIP, implemented by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, is a 3-year complementary grant facility to the World Bank-funded Kalahi-CIDSS Project. It bonds similar people and bridges those that differ to provide mutual support systems to impoverished communities so that significant improvements and productive benefits can be made to address poverty and help develop the potential of the least privileged to the full. That each person in every community focused on may have the capacity to meet the challenge of change and see what is possible when they come together, ignited by power through participation. JSDF-SIP covers 106 barangays, 35 municipalities, and 24 provinces in 11 regions in the Philippines. And within the said locations, it covers indigenous peoples, conflict-affected communities inhabited by indigenous peoples as well as women. The road to Barangay Saklit is bumpy, and the travel long and tedious. Upon reaching Barangay Saklit, the discovery one makes is that the entire journey is actually a foretelling of the destination. Barangay Saklit is one of the 8 barangays which comprise the municipality of Sadanga in the Cordillera Administrative Region. And it is in tribal conflict, or for sure, with its neighboring barangay Poblacion.
The last peacemaking that I've witnessed between Sadanga, both Poblacion and Demang and Saklit, was way back mga 20 years ago. Since then, we were at peace with Saklit until 1991. They were able to make an agreement that while Sadanga will tap the water resource up, then the Saklit people should also be given funds to develop the irrigation downstream. Unfortunately, after a year or two, the water supply of Sadanga was funded, but there was no fund committed for the Saklit irrigation. that caused that irritant between Saklit and Sadanga. That's why the Saklit people started disturbing the construction of the water supply. That triggered the Sadanga people to break the peace pact with Saklit. Later on, it went up to a killing, then a series of killings. And up to now, the issue remains unresolved.
As the tribal war issue remains unresolved, the people of Barangay Saklit, especially the women and the youth, continue to remain waiting and wanting to be respected by the other people within the Sadanga municipality and to experience a better quality of life.
Yung tribal conflict, I would speak specifically sa mga kababaihan. And then sa mga bata naman ganun din. Ang desire nila is really to stop sana itong tribal conflict kasi nakakapagod na. Paglabas kasi nila sa community nila, ito yung mga taga-Saklit, parang meron na silang mga, parang outcast ba ang tingin ng mga tao sa kanila. Kaya lumalabas nila sa from the community and they would deny na galing sila doon. Since they were kids, naramdaman nila yung hirap ng buhay na walang kalsada, walang development na dumarating o walang services, na dumarating doon sa kanilang area. The tribal conflict actually stopped people from developing a better quality of life. Aside from the tribal war na problema nila, nakita nila na mas malalim pa pala yung ang dahilan kung bakit ganun yung kanilang sitwasyon. Ang mga kababaihan doon sa community, na-exclude sila. Alam mo kasi we have this ATOR. It's a venue where they decide, they make policies. At ang pumapasok lang dito ay mga kalalakihan. Ang excuse nila, meron daw omen, may seremonya kasi na ginagawa doon daw sa ATOR before they go for tribal wars or before they decide on things. So ayaw nila na mapunta sa mga kababaihan daw yung mga bad effect ng ritual. We were not satisfied with the answer. So ang sabi niya actually bad omen yung mga kababaihan. Pag may nahalong babae doon sa ATOR, parang sure sila na matatalo sila sa tribal war.
Fe Bagni was born, raised, and now has her own family here in Barangay Saklit. Fe is a witness to the harrowing effects of tribal conflicts. Every day, just as her husband Samuel guards the front lines of their community, along with the other menfolk, as mandated by our rule from thousands of years ago, that men should be warriors, ready to take on any tribal confrontation. Fe's ritual is the pounding of rice, repeated as often as her family eats. As she does so, Fe wages a silent war against unshared domestic responsibilities and how this echoes to other unsettling gender role shifts in their community. Fe longs to find the voice that will clamor to introduce change and bring about peace.
Cuma Majig asal pimiki cuma Majig
first nga nagkotutungtungan mi dito JSDF tidaduma kas kada dito idaduma nga medyo dati kontra ta political adangar to political mitlang ore no barangay kat dati political conflict dati mangibaga nga ano ko nga patsin nga agtungpal data kapo iti anos kasi kanyami di chimpo baga kadagito taga barangay official nga uray no anyaman ti mapaspasamak anusan tayo nga ag-volunteer tapno lang umay dayta ta makabil tayo kadagita nga banbanag ta sumagmamano nga kuha dagita.
Noong una sa dumating dito ang JSDF, talagang pag minsan kahit sinasabi nilang kababayan lang ang magsiseminar, meron din kaming kalalakihan na gustong maki-attend. Wala namang mawawalan sa atin kung i-grab natin tong chance na anuin natin itong proyekto ng gobyerno.
Dahil po dito sa God trainings na nakandak dito sa amin, marami pong natutunan ang mga mag-asawa na dumalo. Lalo na yung mga kalalakihan. Kinompare po nila yung culture na nakikita nila sa ibang lugar sa culture natin dito. Nag-agree ang mga men na mas maganda ang nagtutulungan ang mag-asawa.
Through the capacity building activities and trainings in gender and development, values reorientation and leadership provided by JSDF-SIP, the women of Barangay Saklit have learned to speak and stand up, and the men listened and supported the call for change. As a result, a women's brigade was formed to push Saklit's Barangay Council to pass an ordinance imposing a total liquor ban.
Kaya ano kami na sa kami na sa takos na umiil. Amin na kami sa takos ako pafay. Lantaw ka ano ka takos na umiil takuan na pamutngin saya kadain ano ka anak mi asawa mi sister ko amin na kanin sa kami ay umiil. Ay pamilya ang ken ila na kanin wa anto kanu kas ano ka solusyon na nain ano ka na mabawasan na problema na ano ka pamilya. So kanak si kana inain in meeting takod tayo kakato kan kapitan tain ano ka in kumayab takos ordinansya mafalin.
Sada kawis.
Kat dito gayam. Kapo iti kanayon nga panag-seminar dagiti staff ti JSDF ti women's. Kat sayang kata dito liquor ban. Ado ti tulong na dito kada kami ta nawan na gito mamartek ta ti bartek kat iso ti kagapkapuan ti gulo. Unang rona na ti tribal war mi kat ado ti sulisog no panggap iti tribal war. So nga liquor ban ti may nga na-impose dito nga makita mga sinmayatan dito nga barangay.
The liquor ban strengthened family bonds and re-established order in a community which for centuries lived with the ills of drunkenness. The resulting temperance in Barangay Saklit's men prevented them from getting into tribal wars. The liquor ban, initiated by the Barangay Saklit Women's Brigade, had an invaluable impact on the pursued peace process. Through the Women's Brigade, the women also started operating a community rice mill, which unburdened them of their rice pounding duties, giving them more time for their families and to participate in community meetings.
Ang project ng social inclusion program, hindi natin masabi na natapos yung conflict, pero it gave venue for people really to discuss, for the women to really act on the problem, and for the barangay people to recognize na there is really a problem at kailangan na nilang gumalaw at suportahan yung mga sinimulan ng mga kababaihan kasi na-realize nila na walang ibang pwedeng tumulong sa kanila sa sitwasyon nila, mag-angat sa kung saan sila ngayon, kundi sila rin.
Kung paano nakatulong yung social inclusion project dito sa Barangay Saklit because it made the people realize that after all, they are not being intentionally neglected by government agencies, lalong-lalo na itong LGU. And it also gave opportunity for the people, the elders, including the women, to discuss their tribal conflict between poblasyon and this barangay.
Napanggap si maintenance, ka na communities na ili. Ituloy niya cooperative kami. Tapno tuloy-tuloy na. Kay ikitulong us na amamamis na. Tapno umalis na masakbayan na sumasarunuan anak.
Siwak sibong mabong ulay yaman mo sisimkong ano yamasin kayo chong sugar lamang push na kopo yaat mapsog na puto siwak sibong.
Leaving Barangay Saklit gives one the faith that through JSDF-SIP, things will no longer be the way these were. In spite of the travel remaining long and tedious, and the road, though still bumpy, the road to and from Barangay Saklit is now paved with good intentions to preserve peace. The poorest marginalized sectors found renewed hope, empowerment, and commitment through social inclusion and participation through JSDF-SIP.
Our goal is to make people participate in community development. And we can only achieve this if we create an opportunity for people to be involved in community development projects. And from that experience, people discover their new capacities and capabilities. And from these learnings, they would be able to approach new problems in the future with more confidence and greater capacity. That's what we call people empowerment.
The experience was wonderful. We saw how women participated, how they became involved in the literacy classes, how they became involved in many livelihood projects, how our local governments responded to the many capacity building activities we offered them so that the environment would change and they would encourage participation among the different marginalized groups. We are ready to share with other NGOs, other government agencies, and other LGUs our experiences. I hope this is a very, very important learning experience of DSWD in doing community-driven development work will be replicated, and that the spirit of full empowerment and participation by our people, especially those who are really marginalized, can be fully realized.
As long as people take on the challenge to be included in molding their communities and participating in government interventions, power through participation is possible.
Show Shake